What's going on, Eric?
Boss, how are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you. Good to see you. What's going
Good,
on?
good. It's good to see you as well. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us.
Oh, absolutely. I'm honored. Appreciate you having me.
No, of course, of course. How's everything? You doing all right? You staying well?
Yeah, staying healthy, man. Everybody's good. The family's good. My peers, everybody's healthy so far, so good. So, you know, hope everybody's doing well. How you doing? How's the family?
I'm doing well. I'm doing okay. Family's okay. Trying to stay COVID-19 free
Yeah.
as best as we can.
I know everybody's on edge with this election, so I
I
understand the
just
feeling.
needed, if we could just tell me who it is so I can move on with my
Right.
life. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot. It's been a lot of funny memes out there, so
Right.
I know how it is. So I
I'm
feel
telling
you.
you, my TV has been on the news for the last 24 hours, so I don't know what's going on at all. But all right, guys,
Understand.
thank you for tuning in with us tonight. We are speaking with Khaled Abdelgany. Super excited to talk to this young man. If you guys don't know, again, he is the National Guardsman that went viral for chanting. I'm Black and I'm proud. It just was a crazy moment at that time down in DC, and we definitely going to talk about that tonight. But before we do all that, I really want to know what is the specific role of a National Guardsman, because I want to make sure that everybody knows.
Yeah, absolutely. Every National Guard, their specific role is pretty much the answer to emergencies, any national disaster, riots, any, of course, terror attacks that happen within their
Mhm.
state. So that's pretty much it. It's based on that, and of course, obviously, since we're a part of the military, sometimes we get activated full time,
Mhm.
whether to go overseas or to be a part of that deployment, where whatever it is, depending on the details of that situation or that mission. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, awesome. So, going back to that day, that we got the infamous clip of
Yeah.
you chanting. How were you informed, and why were you going out to DC?
Well, our leadership kind of told us this. To be in all fairness, there's of course a chain of command,
Hmm.
and the leadership that we usually see every day, uh, they informed us, of course, and um, we kind of like took that in because, to be quite honest, it was one of my first experiences to go through that type of mission, as they would call a civil unrest mission, uh, kind of response. Um, Speaking specifically on how it was related to the Black Lives Matter movement, and of course, uh, George Floyd and then Breonna Taylor, like everything happened so fast, and so our leadership was just, they called us in. They said, "Hey, we're going out to this mission. It's going to be near further detail." It's kind of like based on whenever they get updated, it's not like we had like a memo of this is
Right,
what we're going to do. This was,
right.
we were kind of like whatever happened next, we were just going to kind of react to it that way.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we were unsure what was going to go on, what was going to happen. A lot of my peers who are African American um, were also feeling a lot of emotion. I was feeling a lot of emotion. Um, yeah, we just the truth about it is you just didn't know. So you just had to remember how to be professional, um, and stay calm, because I think safety was the number one thing for both everyone here and whoever we were going out to kind of like help,
Right.
and see what was going to happen, whatever the situation or scenario was at the time. We didn't know, but yeah.
So you didn't really know exactly. So when you were called up there, you knew that it was for a protest that was going on. Did you have
Yes.
any particular thought process, with everything going on that was like, wow, I know you had the conversation kind of, with your other peers who are the same,
Yeah.
race as you. What was really like going through your head during the time?
Um, to be quite honest, we were kind of like lost for words. We were trying to figure stuff out on our own, in a sense of the whole experience of what the scene looked like, because we were stationed in front of the White House with other police departments. Uh, I couldn't even name you all the police departments that were out there, but we didn't have any weapons. We just had shields. But we were out there. Once we got out there, we understood why they may have called us, but we didn't understand why. It was just, personally, I felt like it was a egotistical move, and kind of, we were used maybe as pawns in a sense. But for the most part, we were there for each other. That was what was important. Um, we wanted to make sure everybody was safe. Um, we wanted to make sure that we were in the right place. We were um, our emotions, because a lot of us broke down. This to be quite honest with you, like a lot of us broke down. A lot of us felt a lot. A lot of us took like time before we actually, or needed time away before we actually got on the line. So it was hard for a lot of us, man. Um, we just had to go through it. We were there for each other. We were trying to like um, make things make things go by as smooth as possible for us, because we knew we couldn't really express how we really felt and show how we really felt um, in that in uniform. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough. It was difficult.
No, I can imagine. So you said you didn't have any weapons, and you guys had shields. Was there any like training or preparation that they gave you in how to deal with unarmed civilians?
Yeah, well, the training that we go through is just kind of like a simulation of just like what a riot would be. Nothing specific on if they did have, any weapons. The reason why we only had shields is because we were just there just to defend, in a sense, um, for safety reasons. We didn't have any weapons. That's just above me. I didn't want any, honestly, to be quite honest with you. Um, but that call was above me. I was happy that we weren't armed, but we weren't the only one. Like there were some other National Guardsmen from other states that were armed. They weren't from DC though. So
Right.
just to kind of like clear that up. Um,
So you're
so
part
yeah,
of the
National Guard.
DC National Guard. Okay, and then all
Yes.
the other states. So you had some from other states that also came down to the White House during that time.
Yes, yes. So, and of course, all other police departments that were there too, that were armed. So yeah, they kind of like to kind of like differentiate between us and them in a sense, just to
Mm-hmm.
kind of clarify from my experience. That's all.
Right.
But it was something. It was definitely an experience, something that I really wanted to understand fully and allow my emotions to go through it, because as a black man, you're kind of like wondering, and a lot of thoughts go through your head, and I'm sure we're gonna get to that thought process. But yeah, it's to be quite honest with you, it's scary because you don't know what's gonna happen next. Uh, you can train 100 times, and then when you actually put in a situation, you really don't know what's gonna happen. There's things that could be unpredictable. So
And I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure it's different when you're going into a situation knowing that the other person is an enemy. That's a whole different kind of thought process, right?
well, I knew they weren't an enemy.
Right.
I like my thought process as an individual. I knew like the situation we were going into. Protesters were upset and angry because they're allowed to be from what happened to the police injustices, and I understand that, especially as a black man. And I have other black friends and peers and that felt this way, that wear that uniform. So they understand also, and they're also going through that emotion. But then there's that question of like, I don't want to do or say anything that could jeopardize something. Just I don't want to like take action on emotion. A lot of us take action on emotion when we're not calm. We just react, and then you kind of look back and like, you know what, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Right.
So it was something like that in a sense. So we're trying to like remember to understand, to be calm and understand their emotion as well, and what was happening, what was going through their minds, and how they were expressing their feelings. And we were there as like, you need something. I don't want to say a target, but you need something to throw your emotions at.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there for that, and I wanted to allow myself to be there for them that way, in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but like people need to see someone, and they just wanted answers. They just wanted replies. They just needed people to talk to them. Even before that clip, I was talking to protesters that were standing in front of me, and they were peaceful. We were just having a conversation, and so like that's in my mind, they were never the enemy,
Right.
and it wasn't put out that way at all. Just to be clear, um, but it was just like as an individual, you kind of like want to see what's happening around you
Mhm.
and what you're doing as a part of your professional career versus who you are as an individual, and you want to
Yeah, and
just
I was
find
saying that
yeah.
the enemy piece as being a difference in the type of approach. You know, there are some scenarios that you are trained for where it's you have this enemy, this is what you need to
Yes.
do because this person is an enemy. But going into this particular situation, that wasn't the case. You know, again,
Yeah.
you're just trying there to defend and keep everything everyone calm.
Yeah.
Do you have issues with your morality when you put on your uniform and you do things, as a serviceman and being on duty?
Uh, to be quite honest, for the most part, I'll say this again. From my experience, the DC National Guard has been mostly uh, African Americans or people of color. Um, as far as our training or our missions, I haven't had an issue with it up until like that specific mission, because um, my morals, I feel like as an individual, I feel like my morals are intact for the most part. And then there's obviously room for growth, depending on how you live your life and how you experience life. But yeah, like it's hard as a black man to kind of like, because a lot of people don't know this, but most of the time that people join the military, it's not because hey, I want to go to war.
Right,
Like there are people that way. There's people that have that
right,
intention, but like most people join because school benefits, experience. Um, so when you see most of your peers are in there because of that reason and understand that they have good intention with this, and they want to do the right thing, and they want to teach the right thing and be a good example. Um, it's hard to see them being put in a position where they have to like be used in a situation that they don't want to be in,
right.
and it's difficult to see, it's difficult to be in, and it's difficult to process because we're all human, and you kind of like wish like why can't you get along
Right.
uh, but understanding what's happening because people are angry. Like a lot of us are angry. A lot of black people are angry still, and we are traumatized, and we understand what's happening. But in order to take action, we need to have like it. We need it needs to be organized action, and we need to have space to curse, be angry, yell, express emotion. That too. That's not writing. That's just freedom of expression. And
Right.
from what I experienced when I was out there, everybody was peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, everybody was peaceful for the most part. So like I didn't. You might have had a water bottle being thrown at us here and there, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't thrown at us specifically. It was thrown at the scene,
Right.
just to kind of like clarify. So yeah.
Understood. Understood. So what, for the people who are outraged and the people who are questioning, as a black man, why are you doing this? Or, clearly it's your job and things that you signed up for. But what do you want those people who have those criticisms to know about the men and women who are people of color, who do wear the uniforms and do, who are out there doing these type of things, even when they don't understand?
Yeah, for sure. I want them to know that, first of all, is the black people that wear uniform, people of color that wear uniform. Once we take that uniform off, we're getting that same treatment that everyone else gets in the
Right.
States.
Right.
We're still walking by white women or white people who, move further away from us when we're walking across by them on the sidewalk, or hold their purse closer to them, or stereotype us one way or the other, stop us in a police car, shoot us and kill us. You know what I'm saying? So like we're still in that same, like we're still jeopardized that way, you know. So you know it's weird to me. It's always been weird to me where we get in uniform and we get all the respect in the world. People go out of their way to say thank you for your service, and you know all different shades, colors of people have come to me and said thank you for your service. It's been that way since I've worn the uniform, and it shows that the amount of respect that you know black people get in this country. And it's kind of hard because you kind of wonder, you know, hey, or hope, and you have faith because truly you have good intention to. I want to serve, you know, my country, and I wish, you know, that you know I want my country to understand and believe that they can put that same effort into each individual, especially black people. So you move forward with that thought and that faith into hoping so. But you know, there's unfortunate incidences where we're out of uniform and we get that experience where we go to the grocery store in uniform, we get all the love. Sometimes people pay for our food and stuff like that, but then when we're out of uniform, where we're jogging, you know, we're running or whatever, we get shot in the back, and, you know, we get pulled over, we just get stereotyped, we get called all types of, you know, derogatory words, and it's tough. It's tough. So you can't possibly understand what it means to be a black man in this country if you're not in that skin.
Right.
So it's yeah. But yeah, I just want to say to them, just to answer your question, like we hurt too when that happens. You know, we're humans too. We're people too, and but we're also fighting on this side too. On this side, what I mean by this side is the uniform side. Um, there's a lot of people of color in uniform that have, you know, expressed their emotions, expressed their beliefs to leadership, and people who I've spoken to who are of high rank um, have their difficulties and had that conversation with me, and like, yeah, it's a tough spot, and it's hard. So we may not have an answer for that. You know, it could be, I mean, you know, look at us. Like we're trying to still count votes and make sure that things are like, you know, at least right in that regard. And all we're doing is just counting. So like if you magnify that and into just like being specific with black people and how they feel in uniform, hell yeah, we definitely feel hurt. You know, when George Floyd was murdered, when Breonna Taylor was murdered, like we feel that pain. We feel it every day.
Oh, for sure. So during that time, of course, I'm pretty sure you did not know you were going to go viral. But
No.
you were chanting, "I'm black and I'm proud," under your breath. You know, clearly you didn't think anybody saw anything, but you're doing it. Why did you do that, or why did you feel the need to chime in on that?
There was a young brother that was walking past us back and forth, expressing his emotions, just talking. Um, just talking, and had a few signs up too, and I was reading. I was trying to be involved in the emotion, and I was listening. I was trying to listening, and I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if the video can tell or not, but I was like literally following him back and forth with my eyes. And when he started chanting, you know, I'm black and I'm proud, I'm black and I'm proud, um, that was just true emotion. That's just how I truly feel to this day. Obviously, I've always felt, and how I felt then. Um, it didn't matter who was watching me. I mean, I didn't care if I was going to get in trouble for it because that's something that's part of me. You know, the Army preaches integrity, so I figured this is something of integrity, and if I get in trouble for that, that's something, you know, obviously that's a conversation for later, but I wasn't thinking that. It was just true. It was just true emotions that you saw.
Right.
So yeah, so that's what shout out to Heidi too for shooting shooting the video. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. But yeah, that's what was captured. I didn't know I was being videotaped at all. I didn't know it was gonna go viral at all.
So first question is, when did you realize you went viral? And then second question is, what was your initial thoughts?
Yeah, when I went, it was a homegirl of mine. She shout out to Sloan too. She's more heavy on the Twitter side, so
Right.
she sent me the video and asked me, "He was like, yo, Khaled, is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And the first thought I got was like, "Oh, good, people get to see that we feel it too on this side."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's honestly what I thought.
Right.
And I was excited for that moment. And I just put the phone down and honestly, I think I put the phone down and started playing like some music to calm me down. I just put the
Mm-hmm.
phone down. And she reached out to me again and she said, people want to know what your Twitter name is. It's going crazy. And the person that shot it wanted to connect with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And I read some of the comments and people were saying that I was going to get in trouble for it or that I was just mouthing it and I was like scared to mouth it or
Mm-hmm.
say it. So I retweeted it on my Twitter page and I just let people know, like, I'm not scared of, saying this. I'm a
Right.
black man first before anything. And I reposted the video on my Twitter, and that's where it kind of like let off.
So, so it happened at that time. Just from a time frame standpoint, was it like the next day, couple hours?
No, I wasn't. I think it was like a few days after that,
After, okay.
because Twitter, I used it as like my typing outlet, and
Okay.
I tweeted a couple of things before that video even came out.
Mm-hmm.
How I felt and how the day was and my emotions. I even tweeted that we didn't have any weapons, just letting people know that, what I'm saying, this is what's happening and this
Mm-hmm.
is what's going through my mind. And it was just my little diary in a sense, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
so yeah, so like once that happened, well, I'm losing train of thought. What was the question again?
I just at the point where you found out you were viral,
Oh,
you went viral.
yeah, so like once that happened, people started to follow my page, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, and the comments started to kind of like flood
Right.
in. It caught me by surprise. I was in shock, but it was cool. It was kind of like cool to
Right.
see. But my main thought was like, okay, people understand that the message is out there.
Right.
Excuse me. So yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Did you get any, you didn't get in trouble, but were there any criticisms from any of your fellow National Guardsmen or anyone like that?
I wouldn't say criticism, but there was like obviously I'm not gonna say any names, but like
Yep.
there was a couple people who were trying to like indirectly muzzle me or kind of like push me away from expressing how I truly feel
Mm-hmm.
about that either moment or this whole civil unrest mission and what was happening with it. But no, for the most part, they were supporters. They were supporters. A lot of my leadership took me under their wing and had a conversation with me and explained to me like, we support you. Just understand that we want the best for you and you speak for a lot of people and we're proud of you. Like encouraging words. My peers, I love them to death. They know who they are. But they were definitely there because we had to be there for each other, man. A lot of
Right.
us cried. A lot of us, of course, went through an emotional state during that time. But yeah, a lot of like all of them really showed support. So yeah.
What's your message to the Black community, especially as someone who is pledged to serve them?
Yeah, I want us to the message for all of us is to stay strong, understand how to be organized with our tactics and to never lose focus of what the goal is for equality and to grow. And along with that, understand that we're stronger together. We're the strongest, honestly, together. Um, we're gonna keep fighting. We're always fighting, and I think that's the beauty in in like the black community and just being black altogether. It's beautiful. We're strong naturally. And then along with that, and the cool thing about us is that we still find some black joy in it, all of it. Like whether it's we have our little music, whether we have our friends to lean on and just, take those couple of minutes to kind of like have a good talk or good conversation, someone to listen to, someone to give you advice. That's what it is. It's really just, checking up on your friends, understanding that they're okay if they need anything. That's really focusing on each other and learning how to be, understanding how to be strong together to move forward. I think that matters. I think that message, I'm only repeating it. People already know it. People already have been doing it. It's just a reminder. And that's just something that's real. That's all.
Awesome. So off topic, but on topic, are you surprised that the election is this close?
Am I surprised? I mean, when he first got elected, our president now, when he first got elected, him and Hillary, it was pretty close the same way. After that, honestly, nothing surprised me.
But before, the thing is that we knew, like, we had an idea of what the president was capable of, 45.
Yeah.
But then you had 3 and some change to see exactly what he did. And it's still, I would say, probably closer than it was in 2016. That just baffles me personally.
Yeah, I mean, being on this side, you hear a lot of things versus being on that side. So that's the only reason why I'm saying it's to a point where, it is surprising, and you're still on the edge of your seat, kind of seeing, like, waiting to happen, what's gonna happen. But I think the right thing is gonna come out, and people who are actually talking about, making a difference, having change, that they actually went out and voted. That's how we really get heard. That's how they're gonna really hear us, and take us seriously. It's just hard, and it's kind of like, what sucks about it is just that there's different numbers that they're posting on the news, and you don't know what to believe. And I think that's what bothers me until a point. You get to a point where you're just like, I just want the result. So, like, you just step away from the TV, you wait till the result come out, and then, you have your reaction. So, yeah.
For sure. So hopefully we find out real soon, real soon, please, because I can't take it no more.
Yeah, sure.
But you also have a podcast called Soul and the Vibe?
Yes, Soul and the Vibe. I just started it. It's really fresh. People gonna laugh at the production because I produced it and edited it. But it's cool. I'm just trying to give people an organic feel of who I am, what I like to do, the things that involve me in my life, and what made me who I am. And just, of course, I'm trying to squeeze it in between all this military training and stuff like that. So, like, I'm definitely pushing forward with that, and it's called Soul and the Vibe. The link is in the bio. I just posted my last episode a few days ago. So yeah, go check it out. It's posted mainly on YouTube, so please subscribe. And I appreciate you, Eric, for just having me on here, man, because it's all love. It's all love from day one.
It's been amazing. First and foremost, thank you for your service. We definitely appreciate it. Thank you for allowing us to feature you inside of our latest issue, the culture issue, and this talk. It's been amazing. Guys, make sure y'all check him out. Make sure y'all follow him. Make sure y'all check out his podcast. Mr. Khaled, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Let's talk offline, man. Whenever this whole COVID stuff goes by. All right.
For sure. I'll come down to DC sometime.
Yeah, we need to make that happen.
All right. See you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate you, everybody.